Welcome back to Front and Center. We're talking about the state of devolution 10 years on as Kenyans get into the next cycle. And apart from, taking the oath of office today, the governors who were sworn into office also took an integrity oath as provided for by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Let's listen into what that is all about.
Signing of these codes is a signal, or it demonstrates commitment and a pledge to the public that when they get to office, they will not engage in corruption, but they are going to advance and protect public interest. So it is to reinforce their realization of the heavy duty that lies ahead. And the reason why this was done in public is also for members of the public to know that the people they have elected and sent to offices have committed that they are not going to steal from them. They have committed that they are not going to be impartial. They have committed that job opportunities in county governments will not be for the families of those governors or their relatives. They have committed to uphold the requirements of Chapter 6 of the Constitution, including transparency, accountability, and generally good governance.
All right, that is the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission explaining that oath of integrity. Annabelle, if I can come to you. The big issue, like we mentioned earlier, the issue of corruption and devolving corruption. Do you think this will work, or will it bring any kind of reprieve? Because as early as today, we've seen a couple of counties that have been put on the spotlight for requesting for too much money for the swearing in office. We're talking about 130 million shillings, others, 20 million shillings, 57 million shillings, Kisii. Others have not requested for anything. What is your take on that?
It's one thing to swear an oath and tell the people that you're going to be serving that you're going to be conducting your affairs in a transparent and accountable manner. It is another thing to actually honor or keep your word. So for those counties that have been on the spotlight today, I think let me say they may have started on the wrong foot. We would have to look at what it is they requisitioned for and how much they were being charged for it that led us to accruing those amounts. I'd say it's more of a wait and see approach. You really cannot vouch for somebody or discredit them up until they have started executing their duties. I expect maybe Kenyans may not be very optimistic based on past experience, but not unless now you're dealing with a governor who has been there the period 2017 to 2022. I would understand why you're not very confident in them, because you've seen their performance previously. But then again, my question to you would be, with that kind of performance, why then did you give them a second term? For the ones who've just come into office, you cannot judge them against the yardstick of their predecessor. You have to give them an opportunity to work. It will start with how they constitute their cabinet, the kind of relations they have with their public service, their county public service boards, the kind of relationship they're going to be having with their county assembly. Are they going to be keen on listening to their MCAs? Right. Yeah, basically. All
right. Arnold, in the same breath, we have so many examples, and this happens today when they're being sworn in. There's a picture that I've been doing the rounds on social media of a vehicle belonging to a county government, latest Land Rover, which costs around 20 million shillings. And people are asking all these questions. There's a story from the county of Nairobi of a procurement officer who earns 21,000 shillings per month, but he has hotels and all these properties. Are these lessons going to be learned, do you think?
I think, first of all, I just need to speak about the Land Rover. Governors were being sworn in today. So a governor definitely, any governor coming into office today hasn't had any touch with the appropriation roles and everything. So that is the outgoing that is the outgoing regime that actually worked out that. But because we are a country that loves to consume propaganda, sometimes by the time the facts come out, you defend yourself when it's too late. And correction never goes as fast as the lies that have gone out. So I don't think any governor today, I saw even the governor in Kisii saying that he had stopped. He actually didn't have the power to stop. It was just him taking away stealing the limelight, because in what capacity was he stopping? And even, as in, he's not within the channel. So today they effectively started their work. Now, very quickly, first of all, the oath by EACC today, that for me I think is coming way too late. Corruption was on the ballot. It wasn't at the oath today. That is too late. In fact, where I sit, and this causes me a lot of problems, is that I think Chapter 6 should be expunged from the Constitution. It's useless. Not that we don't need integrity, not that we don't have problems, but it's one particular thing that Mwalimu here and his friends were not very bold enough to actually give it the funds it demands and the clause it demands. So they left it to Parliament. And the people have got the liberty to choose people they think embody the virtues they want. Like at this particular time, people I think feel like they can go with the hustler virtue as if that was a virtue. So from where I sit, EACC is coming too late in the day. If it were to stop corruption, it should have stopped it before the ballot. And when the people, you hear people starting to talk about, we are afraid these people are going to steal, these guys 2 weeks ago couldn't listen to you if you told them that so-and-so probably doesn't have a good record. So I think EACC is just ticking boxes. I'm quite skeptical with how EACC works, because whereas they have registered some progress, if you look at the EACC Act, it has got a lot of power that you don't see in the execution. Right. They've ended up ceding that power to other agencies that do not necessarily have that particular power. So I think probably EACC needs to go back and do its proper work. Their first function is to detect and stop, not to arrest, to come in as in being morticians who actually come in to do post-mortem. So for this oath here, I think EACC guys are just spending money also. They have got some budget to go around and spend and just tick a box. But that in itself, you can't look at it as an indicator of actually trying to work around Chapter 6. They are late in the day.
Kipchumba, Chapter 6 vis-a-vis devolution.
Should I be honest with you, Ben?
Thoughts?
I think we are glorifying mediocrity, because there is no hotel, and if there is one, show me it, where if you walk to a hotel and you ask for the menu, you will be told as at the lower part, you will be told wash hands before and after meals. It doesn't work that way. So I think we need to call EACC out for trying to do mediocre acts on Kenyans. And what I mean is this. Ben, we have an act known as POCAMLA, Proceeds of Money Laundering and Something Act. We have one known as ASECA, Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act. We have Public Finance Management Act. We have the County Government Act. We have the Leadership and Integrity Act. We have the Constitution of Kenya. Those are 7 laws. And all of them talks about how a state officer in the office of governor or the deputy should carry themselves out. Right. And why I'm saying this is mediocrity is number one. If every institution was to come there with an, what did you call it? With an oath. Yes. KRA will be there oath, telling you, take this, write this oath that will pay tax. After that is gone, another institution will be there saying, take this one that you will send the money for NSSF as a governor. You sign. So at the end of the day, we need to be a bit serious as a people. And EACC should be serious as a commission. What we mean is that they should help us weed out mediocre leaders from the platform at the party level. When people are going for nomination, they should make it mandatory that EACC should run through that list. That is what they need to ask. Number 2 is they must make sure that the processes that lead to an election, if we have said leaders should not buy voters, that is where they need to go. But how do you tell somebody who has used 200 million, sign an oath to you that you will not steal? Where do they get the 200 million? Does EACC know where the money came from? So at the end of the day, we don't want lip service as Kenyans. All right. We want institutions to perform their mandate, and we do not care whether you will come there and make people sign those oaths. Those are useless things, because tomorrow KRA will send everybody everywhere that sign you will pay us money. The next day, somebody with another commission, NCIC, will come and say sign that you will be peaceful. Those are things that common sense should dictate.